中の心と物質
Yo, that theme, that the intro music has grown on me.
Nice.
It's officially like a part of, and I even forget about the O one almost.
Shout out to Nicholas. But he and his friends really like the intro music as well. Yeah,
nice. Yeah, it's good. I fucking can't believe we created that shit. That shit sounds like
fucking got in the
we're
studio.
basically musicians, bro.
we are Dr. Dre and Eminem.
Facts, bro.
And I'm Dr. Dre because I'm black.
I'm Eminem because I'm addicted to drugs. Yeah, actually, he just celebrated 16 years of sobriety.
Oh shit!
Yeah, that's something I wanted to bring up last episode, but I was like, fuck it. Like, I mean, it's nothing crazy, but I'll just read what he was addicted to. He was when he was coming off making the Marshall Mathers LP and going into making Encore. His addiction was getting bad. He was taking Vicodin, Valium, and alcohol. And then after one of the members of D12, a group he was in, Proof, died in 2006, he said that he was taking so much pills, he literally couldn't walk for 2 days.
Jeez.
And his drug use skyrocketed. He said, I quote, I had fucking 10 drug dealers at one time that I'm getting my shit from. 75 to 80 Valiums a night, which is a lot. I don't know how the fuck I'm still here. I was numbing myself. And then in 2007, he had a near-death experience from an accidental methadone overdose. Then that's when he began to get sober.
Damn,
that's crazy, wow. Right?
I had no idea.
Yeah, like I know he did a lot of drugs and shit like that. I very little recall him being sober, but I didn't know he just made 16 years. And even when we went to go see Danny Brown, he had just made 10 years of sobriety.
Yeah, he did mention that. I forgot about that.
It was crazy. I remember not 10 years. I think it was like a year.
Yeah, I don't remember how long he said, but I do remember him bringing up his sobriety. I was like, oh shit, good for you, Danny Brown.
Facts. And when he, I remember he was on a podcast, I think either with Joe Rogan or Matt Shane or something like that. But he was saying, he was just like, yeah, I'm just going to try not to drink or smoke weed or nothing. And blah, blah. And I was like, good for you, bro. Like, I was just like, damn. And he stuck with it the whole time. And his fucking skin is clear as shit. I don't know. You see motherfucker looks young as fuck. Yeah, motherfucker's like 47.
He's like 40. Yeah. He was like almost 50 and fucking looking like he's like in his 30s or some shit. I was like,
he was just born.
Yeah.
But anyway, we're fucking in the show.
But yeah, what do we do on this show, Frankie?
Talk about what's happening in the earth.
Inner minds.
And why it matters.
This is Earth, Mind, and Matter.
And welcome back to the show. Today we are talking about our A.M.C. section.
Yes.
Just off the rip. And we're talking about a very special comic anthology.
Yeah. And it's not the first time we've talked about an anthology. Last time we did was Harvey P. Carr's American Splendor.
That was okay. I was trying to wonder like what is an anthology that we've done, or in total. But yeah, that's a special episode because that episode lasted forever.
Oh yeah,
but it was actually pretty cool to go back to Harvey P. Car.
Yeah.
Man, what a fucking icon. And still, like, whenever I see his name pop up or, like, referred to,
you're like, I know that guy.
I know that guy. And he was really himself.
Yeah.
He was like not a dick, but, like, he could come off as a dick. And when I remember I was watching Anthony Bourdain's No Reservations. No Reservations. And, there was an episode they filmed in Cleveland. And Harvey P. Car was on the episode, showing him food around local and stuff like that. And just like they went to a famous library, and then he even drew a comic of Anthony Bourdain's like experiences. It's super cool. I recommend the episode. Yeah, but if you don't know who Harvey P. Car is, just check out some of his work. American Splendor, right? It's so fucking good. But today we're talking about
CyberSync.
Hell yeah.
It is the second publication by Apollo City Comics, an imprint under lesser known comics.
Can you explain what that means?
Yes.
For me,
so I will totally.
Because that's what I want to go through after like covering the stories and stuff like that, or in general.
Yeah. So when it comes to publishers, a lot of the times they'll have imprints underneath their label. And imprints are essentially just branches of that label.
Gotcha.
So
it's like Nike and then Air Jordan.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or like another example, like in terms of comics, like think of like DC and Vertigo.
Okay.
Like
Vertigo, it stems from DC.
Yes.
So DC kind of blankets Vertigo and anything else under it. All right.
So that's what an imprint is. Apollo City Comics started off as a podcast like us.
Nice.
And they've been going about 4 or 5 years now.
Yeah.
And they have now officially turned into publishers. They now have their own imprint with lesser known comics.
Lesser known comics, I love that name. Yeah. I love it so much. And I feel like it's a brand, right? That's been around forever because of the name.
You know? We actually have their sticker right here on the table.
Hell yeah, bro.
But And whenever I tell people that like I have stuff with lesser known comics now, it's like whenever I bring up lesser known comics, I just say very aptly named, and they're like, yeah, I've never heard of it. And I'm just like, but it's just they know what they're doing with that name.
I love that name so much.
And it's just everyone that I've met through lesser known comics so far in Apollo City, like, are fucking amazing.
Nice.
Every single one of them have been fucking beasts, like day in and day out. Shout out to you, Brandon, for ever putting me on to anything. You're the fucking best.
Nice.
But we're looking at the CyberSync Anthology, which is my first publication.
Oh yeah, bro! Congratulations.
Thank you.
Of course.
And I have a 5-page. I forget how many pages it is.
Let's just say.
But yeah. But I do have a short story in this. With CyberSync, it was a sort of a cyberpunk anthology idea curated by Alex, who joined the Apollo City team not too long ago, and he has been a huge driving force behind Apollo City.
Alex Batts.
Yes, Alex Batts. He's been pushing a lot of stuff with Apollo and just like helping out a lot. He's been doing a lot of great work. He is their COO, which is pretty dope.
Chief Operating Officer.
Yeah.
Nice.
And another super dope thing about Alex is that he's our age, so it's like shout out to you, Alex.
Hey, Alex, what's up?
But yeah, and so Apollo is basically run by Brandon, Alex, and Brandon as well. Okay. Brandon is their other co-host. That's a part of Apollo. And I haven't had the chance to actually speak to the other Brandon yet or anything of that nature. But so far, to me, Brandon and Alex have been fucking amazing. Awesome. Have been so nice and so great to me.
Oh, yeah.
And I did want to read the little forward that Alex has here to just sort of open it up.
Oh, yeah.
Because CyberSync, with this being his first ever anthology being run, I'm sure it was a lot for him.
Yeah.
Like I couldn't imagine trying to launch an anthology right now, and it's like shout out to you.
Can you describe the process to people? Like what exactly? How did it all go before you read the forward?
Oh, right.
I feel like it gives a lot of context to the forward. You know?
Yeah. So essentially, Apollo City Comics had posted that they were launching this anthology, and they said, hey, if you have an idea that fits this prompt, and the prompt was that in the future, everyone gets neural implants installed into their brains telepathically and feel and hear everything that they're saying between each other.
Basically, like if I had an implant and you had an implant, if I bite my finger, you would be able to feel that. Or if I'm thinking this way or my experiences, you would be able to feel that, regardless if I'm right in front of you or like in Thailand.
And we could like talk to each other telepathically.
I'd
and
be
shit
like,
that.
And you'd be like, shut up, bro.
Yeah, I'd be like, Google, Frankie says, bet.
Just that.
But so that's the prompt, and it was just, here's the prompt. You can do 1 to 6 pages, submitted by this time, and that's it. And so it's just, I submitted my work, heard back pretty quickly about it, and I remember I was in DR when I got the news that they would take the story.
Nice.
And like we were on a boat and shit.
And then like, Google translated it into Spanish and said,
"Que
lo que, bro."
Que lo que. But and I just saw the notification and like I was on the boat and shit, and I was like, "Yo, what? Get the fucking bottle."
But what's it called? What do you guys drink over there? Fucking
Presidente.
But Presidente, Buchanan's, and what's that other shit? That fucking
Diplomatico.
No, that fucking Brugal, bro.
Oh, Brugal, yeah, Brugal.
That fucking shit is crazy, bro.
Yeah, man.
I remember when we were drinking on the podcast and I took a shot at that, and I was like,
"You were like." I'm gonna put that GIF over myself.
That was dead ass me, bro. But you got the news, and now
yeah, and so it's been a long process.
Yeah.
As you guys can see through the video, if you are watching through video, we actually don't have the book here in our hands yet. We are looking at a digital copy of it.
The book's coming soon for those who pledged on Kickstarter.
Yes. And it is available on Whoa.
Mask on real quick.
Right? But it is available through the Lesser Known Comics website to still buy physically or digitally.
Nice.
As well as I'll have personal copies once they do show up in the mail. So if anyone wants to buy them off of me personally, locally, I got you.
Got you, bro.
But yeah, that's the CyberSync Anthology.
And not everybody was selected, right? It was
like
you have to be selected for it.
Yeah,
right?
you have to be selected.
I think that's important. I mean, of course, you can't just take any submission. That just makes sense. But I think that's super important in terms of releasing something like an anthology because, you need to have strong work to back up the whole thing as an entirety.
Right.
And it's also great for people who create, because rejection hurts, but it also says, yeah, maybe I need to change something because there's a reason it wasn't selected. It was not a spite,
right?
Unless you're doing some sneaky shit behind the back.
I do have a funny story. I think you might have heard yesterday. Shout out to Outer Space.
Hell yeah, bro.
And another comic being officially published through Apollo City.
Yeah.
Shout out to Ben, Eric, Jackie. You guys are fucking killing it right now.
Gods,
but
goddesses.
And I said it on a live stream with them yesterday, the story of how I met Brandon in person.
Oh, I thought you were younger?
Yeah. Like, and because my first publication would have been my punk story that I did for the first comic that Apollo City published, which was a punk anthology called An Outcome the Comics. I submitted a story for it and everything. Brandon loved it and everything, but had rejected it and didn't specify exactly why.
Yeah.
But then it wasn't until after the fact that once I met him in person where he admitted, like, dude, I thought you were like underage. That's why I didn't take the story. Like, I didn't want to deal with like parents and contracts and shit.
Your profile pic is you in like a playground when you were like 7.
I just hitting the.
He's like, the fuck is this kid trying to do? But he didn't take you because he didn't want to deal with all the parent child like legal documents and stuff like that when it comes to publishing. That could be fucking annoying to work with.
Yeah, so he just didn't want to deal with that. Yeah. But as soon as he found out how old I was, he had admitted that. I was like, damn, dude, why didn't you just ask? Like, come on, man.
That's pretty funny.
But
but then he gets hit with the Brandon asking kids how old they are.
Damn, that is true. Shout out to last episode. But yeah, so Brandon's been so great to me. He's basically like an editor to me now, and like he's been such a good friend to me.
That's fucking awesome, man.
He's awesome. He's so great.
Good. And shout out to you, Brandon. You.
But Alex wrote a pretty great forward as well.
Yeah, I think it is very fitting for what it is.
Yeah, and it's just immediately, it just really sort of, like you said, encapsulates the whole thing and just really like, it's almost like the bow on everything, but it's like you're kind of unraveling it at first,
and it really sets the tone for how like not at all to go too far into it, but reading this and then after when I read the anthology as a whole, this sets the perfect tone for what's to come because it all shares that feeling of just like genuine art being created by people who may not be so prominent in their fields yet, but the only thing not prominent about this whole thing is just the popularity of it.
Right. Because
the artwork and the writing and the creativity and even the format of the anthology is incredible, man. It's so professional.
Yeah.
It's like something that I like, you showed me comic books. So for me, all I know is published things that are pretty famous or I know are going to be good and this and that because, you have a background knowledge. But reading this, I'm like, holy shit, man. This is like, I'm not saying amateur in the sense of like, oh, it's not good. It's just like this is like the first stages for some of these people,
right?
And what's to come later on. It's incredible, bro.
Yeah,
it's my first exposure to something like that.
Yeah, and I think that's something that I'm hoping that with this episode we can expose a lot of other people to.
For sure.
It's just like,
for sure,
there's a lot of us like young artists out there, like not even young in terms of age, but just like young in terms of their career.
Yeah,
and we're like, there's a lot of people just starting off and getting ready and things of that nature. Like Ben and Eric, the guys from Outer Space. Yeah. CyberSync was also their first publication.
Nice.
So and their story is Cyberpooch. So.
Got you.
So, yeah,
that's when the guy at the end, the dog at the end with the eyeball. Okay, cool.
So it's like immediately that's why we all clicked and stuff because it's like, oh, look at us, we both got stories about dogs and shit. So it's just
got you.
That's immediately why we started clicking and whatnot.
Awesome.
And it's just it was just such a great creative process all throughout. Everyone was so cool. Everyone was so nice.
Yeah.
And they made it very clear from the beginning, the Apollo City guys, of just like, we're not doing this for money or anything like that. This is just so that you guys can get exposure, so that you guys can get your shit out there.
That's so important, man.
And there was a bit of a discourse at some point with some people in the chat of like, oh, like, you guys should have been more clear about like getting paid and this and that, whatever. And it's just kind of like,
fuck those people.
Yeah. But it's just kind of like, yo, man, like,
not fuck those people, but
but it's like, they were clear from the beginning. Like,
as long as you're transparent, then that's like at the end of the day, you can't get too greedy when it comes to, because from what it sounds like, I mean, funding something like this must be crazy. It must be a lot. but you do get some revenue, right? To some extent. So
Yeah.
I think that's important in general. That, man, I don't know. I remember when I was a kid, all I wanted to do was have a little comic strip put in a newspaper, and that would have been cool for me. You know. So if I make anything, even this or like a little like film, like I'll show that shit for free anywhere. You know. And of course, you know, that's not the case with most creators. Like we were talking about last episode.
Right.
People need to survive and live, but also, you know, having exposure is such a great opportunity, especially when the base of it is you need to be selected to participate in this, regardless.
It's an opportunity, and like, you know, it's a privilege.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, you know, you are being allowed to take the space to do what you want with it, and it's just. And like I said last episode, money for me is not a priority or anything like that. So when that was happening in the group chat, I hit up like Brandon and Alex, and I was like, "Fucking love you guys. Like, you know, you guys are fucking killing it. This and that. Don't worry, I got your guys' backs.
I got you guys. Don't worry about it.
I fucking love you so much."
And other people were like, "Yeah."
But they the whole process has been so great. Another good thing too was that for the Kickstarter, it was the most successful Kickstarter that Apollo City has had so far with their publications.
Nice.
And New York was also the top contributor to the Kickstarter. So shout out to everyone here in New York that contributed to my first publication, which is very nice of all of you.
Yeah, bro.
And I promise if any of you guys want a copy, I will get you that copy.
Psych.
I would have hit you with the
I've heard that one before.
But here's a forward by Alex.
Yes, it is.
He says, intros are weird, huh? This book is an introduction of sorts. I had an idea for a cyberpunk comic. Mark Bernal of Lesser Known Comics said, hey, this guy Brandon Blocksdorf had an idea for a punk rock comic. He's doing a punk rock anthology first. Maybe you should do the same, but you know, cyberpunk. I want to create comics with rad people. This book is a testament to creating comics with rad people. Everyone who submitted work for CyberSync had a prompt to follow. Check it out on the back cover. The prompt was meant to inspire creators beyond the broad strokes of the cyberpunk genre. The response and creativity that followed still blows me away. I hoped if I was lucky, maybe a few people would be interested. More than a few were. This anthology is packed with 16 stories from 25 creators who brought everything that they have to the table, and it shows. This book is an exploration of connectedness. The list of intriguing cyberpunk concepts is never ending, but I'm fascinated by the ways in which technology impacts our relationships with other people. In CyberSync, we take that to an extreme. We explore the radically intimate, the existentially horrifying, and return to the age-old question, what if you could talk to your pet? The average difficulty level of making a comic lies somewhere between small miracle and impossible miracle. For some of our team, myself included, this is their first published comics work. Getting to make a comic in general is a dream. Getting to make a comic that features the sheer amount of talent in these pages is on another level. I'd be lying if I said the process of putting this book together was easy, but it is without a doubt the most rewarding thing I've ever done. And I haven't done it alone. The direction and support I found through Lesser Known Comics and Apollo City Comics in the last year has been utterly mind-blowing. This book was only possible with the help of so many other kind, compassionate people. The support in the comic community continues to floor me. Thank you for supporting artists with a voice, a vision, and passion. Thank you to everyone who submitted and put themselves out there. Thank you all for making this book a reality. The intro's over. Read on. We hope your brain doesn't melt completely. Be nice. Be kind. Tell stories. Alex Batts.
Nice, bro. And it was written Saturday, September 30th, 2023, 7:42 p.m. Pretty specific.
Yeah.
I'm gonna just read the what's it called, the titles and the authors of people.
Yeah.
All right. So these are the stories within. If I say it wrong, my bad. The first one's kind of hard. Cyanide. How you say that? Cyanide. Cyanide by Bob Little. Connected by China Rose Maria.
Yeah.
Deep Inside, Vitaly Hauchenko.
Mm-hmm.
I can't read all your names correctly. Neuropa, John Hissey. Kissy or Hissey? Kissy, John Kisses. Lost Cause, Ray Garza. Cyber Pooch by Ben Collins, Eric Allred, and Jackie Venturini. Killer Content, Tony Delgado. I Hear Ya by some guy. I Hear Ya by Javi Martinez. Let's fucking go. Outrun by Mario Candelaria plus Terry. Sentience Wanted by Colm Ryan and Ben Hall. Pig's Eyes by Kevin Zoldan and Abel Garcia. Damn, bro, being a teacher must be fucking hard when you gotta be like, yo, is this motherfucker here?
Hey, Ron.
Hey, Ron, where the fuck are you? Alone by Dan Membiela.
Mambiela.
Membiela. Dan Membiela. And John Kissy again. Deja Vu by Max Flowers. Dope ass name. Cat Atonic by Dylan Essex and Matthew Robbins. What Happened at St. Isidore's by Devin Whitlock, David Escobar, Buddy Baudouin, and CyberSync by Alex Batts. Oh, that's CyberSync by Alex Batts and David Lugin. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that's, sorry if I fuck up your name and titles, but you know, I'm not a professional. But yeah.
Pseudo-professional.
But that kicks off the anthology in itself. One thing I just wanted to say quickly is that so I read this in one go, and it is pretty easy to read, just because, you know, there's short stories and stuff like that. I will also say that some stories did confuse me a little bit, you know, some, and that's one of my gist for it, because I feel, for me, sometimes from what I saw in some stories, and I'm not criticizing, it's just me and my attention span, I see like you also have to, some stories take this route of trying to explain the background of what's happening,
right,
to insert what's currently happening,
right, and
it kind of messed with me trying to capture the plot. And I have realized that when we read comics, you pick up on a lot more things than I would. Like this, I remember we were covering I think Mr. Miracle, and I'm sure other ones, where you read the page and explained it, and I was like, I didn't catch none of that shit. You know? So forgive me, like, for some people, if like some stories I just didn't really get, and I was really more there for like the artwork and this and that. But artistically, everything was fucking incredible. Even starting off with this first one, Sinusoid by Bob Little. Yeah, like Bob, this gives me
it's fucking fantastic work.
It gives me Sandman vibes.
Yeah, man.
OD, right?
Like, Bob just has such great fucking work, man.
Incredible.
He's so cool. Like, I haven't had the chance to really have too much of a conversation with him or anything, but it's just from what I see of his work, he just has such great stuff. It's so great. Like, he has such a great use of like negative space, like a lot of blacks and stuff.
It's beautiful.
But then he knows how to contrast that with other pages where like when she walks in on the meeting and stuff, like there's, even though the colors are so simplistic, it's so bright. It's
such a range. Yeah, it's like you can really have gone wrong with using only this palette, but it pops so well. And bro, man, this is already incredible in terms of, because this is one of the stories where I was like, what? You know? And I didn't want to dive too deep into every single story, because for me, I was like, let me just take it all as it is.
Right.
And I'm just gonna be honest, when I didn't understand so much, and again, this is just me and like how I read things, and but I think in terms of artwork, it reminded me so much of Sandman, and then later on, a lot of stuff reminded me of Coda. There's a lot of like, you know, and who are the artists for that? Matt something?
Matthias Bergara.
Yeah, that comic, I think, has proven to be one of the most influential comics I've read in terms of like visualizing things, and because I talk bad shit about it when I was watching, but I did read it also on a laptop. And I think that's one of the major flaws I had with this. Nothing wrong with the anthology in itself, but me personally, just I cannot read comic books on a laptop. I just do not prefer it.
It wasn't built for that.
It was not built for that shit at all, bro. But yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how exactly you want to tackle this, because like I remember when we did American Splendor, we kind of just bounced around through different stories and stuff. But I mean, I'll shout out China real quick, but she's great too. Like, she actually helped a good amount of like trying to, for me, after this story, studying anatomy and things of that nature. Shout out. It was Max who helped a lot with me trying to work better with my halftones, which are like the dots and stuff.
Yeah, I finally realized what those are. Like, they're like shadows almost, right? Yes. I just realized what they were, but through this, because I remember your comic when it was like under the shirt, like where I was like, wait, why are there dots some places and not dots other places?
Right.
And I saw under the couch there were dots, and under certain things that have shadows, and I was like, oh shit! Like, I finally learned that. I know you explained it to me, but like you know, when you find it on your own,
when you like visually connect everything together.
I think the way I want to approach this more so, like, I do want to pick a couple of favorites that I do have, right? But I also want to talk more about the process, because that's why I also, listening to the conversation you had yesterday, I thought it was important, because I remember one of the most interesting things that I heard from it was that somebody said that one of the harder things about making comics is when you have to write short stories rather than big stories. And that's kind of falls in line with my confusion earlier, where I imagine you can do all this explanation in the beginning and then like ease your way into it. But when you only got 6 pages or 2 pages and this and that must be so fucking difficult to establish a world.
Yeah.
And I'm surprised some people only did 1 page or 2, like, you know, but the people who did 1 page, I think it was only like 1 person.
Yeah.
Incredible. It was so good. And then some people, I feel like maybe it was too long or too little. But again, it's not easy. And I never thought about it that way.
I mean, I definitely, when we were having that conversation yesterday, that definitely was something where, like, you know, for myself, I've never really written any large or long stories yet. The longest I've written was maybe like, I have about 13, 15 pages of prose of a sci-fi story that I want to make.
Yeah.
But that's like the longest thing I've ever written. And so it's just, I personally have been a little accustomed to making shorter stories more than anything. But it is difficult. Like it is a challenge because you are trying to establish a beginning, middle, and end in just like, say, at most 6 pages. And even for the next story that I'm working on, that at most has to be 6 pages. I have the first page scripted and thumbnail sketched, and then I have pages 3, 4, 5, and 6 planned out mentally.
Nice.
So it's just page 2 that I need to work out. But what I need to get done on page 2, I'm like, how the fuck do I fit that?
Everything,
like,
right? At once, like without being overwhelming, without being underwhelming, and just still popping.
So it's a challenge.
Crazy. Yeah, I thought that was so that's interesting. And then I think I listened to that after I read this. So for me, or maybe vice versa, I don't know, I forget. But anyway, I will say that one of my the first favorite that I had that came up was Neo Loretto 20XX.
Okay.
But I do like this one a lot that I forgot to write down. Connected.
Right.
This, I never seen artwork like this ever.
Yeah, China's artwork is fucking insane.
It's so fucking good. And it reminds me of almost like anime people in a more like, I don't even know how to explain
like
this.
Realistic type of thing.
Like, it's like mellowed out. It's like spooky neon, you know? And it's so beautiful. And I do appreciate also that nudity was not a concern at all for a lot of these comic books.
Yeah.
Like some people went hard with it, and I thought that was awesome because I think it's always fun to just be able to just insert that. I think I said it also with like other movies that I've seen recently that I won't spoil, but they just don't take away from anything and they just add more realism to the fucking media you're consuming, you know?
I remember when China was actually working on this page, this one right here.
I'm looking at it right now.
I remember when she was working on this page and she was like posting like pictures about it, like the pencils and stuff like that. I was like, yeah, it's so amazing, like, bro. Her process is so cool, man.
I love the artwork, bro. It's fucking incredible. So that one really stood out to me. What's it called? But what was it? Neo Loretto. That was
John Kissie's story, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Also, this motherfucker who did this one right here.
Oh yeah.
Sorry, because the name I didn't write down anything. For me, I'm going.
Dude,
this panel right here is incredible.
Fucking
right
insane,
here.
dude.
It's an action sequence in the kitchen. I'm assuming where he has. What story is this one though?
That is killer content.
Killer content?
Yeah.
No. The killer content is later. This one is Deep Inside by Vitaly Klitschko. Yo, bro, Vitaly Klitschko, man, you're a savage.
Yeah, no.
This fucking sequence is so easy to follow in terms of like what's happening,
right?
And it's so good.
Like even it immediately reminded me of some of the art from this DC comic called Future State Gotham, where it's all black and white, sort of like manga anime type of art.
Manga was something that I thought of a lot when I seen the last two. That's what I was trying to think.
Yeah, and it's just like that art was just so good, where it's like there's just so much motion, fluidity to it, and it's like it's so easily you can follow it so easily. Like the panel like composition is just fucking great throughout this story. Like,
so good,
man. Like we don't want to talk too much about like the stories themselves, considering that they are short stories.
Exactly,
like,
that's what it is.
Spoil it
for me. It's what stood out to me the most, and this shit for me was like that alone stuck with me.
Yeah,
and that's why I'm happy the physical edition's coming, because later on in the future I can really dive deep into those, and I hope some of these expand into like I think some of them are set up. I mean, I'm assuming I don't know. but to like be bigger things in the future,
Right.
which would be fucking awesome.
I've even talked about with my story that I like have like bounced the idea around of like continuing my story with just like one page like one-offs and whatever, because like since that's what my story is, just a bunch of one-page one-offs, like I've thought about just continuing that, just like a little comic strip almost, just like maybe once a month type
like every
of thing.
now and this is just random, but like if they're like kid friendly, like you can drop those in like schools, like elementary schools, like hey, I want to donate these 30 comic books I printed out that are pretty short, but it's about a dog and this and that. And I'm telling you, man, that shit impacts kids like crazy, bro.
Yeah,
man. I will just say for Europa, I think this was so fucking cool because it's literally an ad.
Yeah, the Europa one is fucking hilarious.
It's so cool, man.
I remember seeing that one when they posted that into the chat, and I was like, yo, good fucking shit.
It's so good, and it almost how like old comic book. Oh no, I think now even comic books have like even ads in them. Like you'll be reading Batman going through some crazy shit, and then it'll be like M&Ms.
Dude, there used to be the worst DC ads at some point. They still make memes about it. Where at some point DC had these Twix ads, or Snickers, one of the two, where like literally on the page it would be the top half would be panels, the bottom half would be the fucking ad. And it would span across 2 pages.
It's so stupid, bro.
And I think it was Twix, because it'd be the left and right like thing that they would play on.
So dumb.
And it's like it was some of the worst fucking ads, dude. I was like, yo, this is trash.
I will say one thing though. The last Deep Inside. We're just seeing that and me just like looking at it like that. It just reminds me, if I'm not mistaken, of Quarter Owls, and it was the first time a comic book made me turn it sideways.
Oh, really?
Like, vertically.
Yeah,
and
nice.
I was like, this is crazy, like even that little because it's crazy to me now, but imagine like when it came out for the first time, some motherfuckers like, and they just flipped it, and you're like,
it really blew people's minds at that time, man.
And then so when it comes to Europa, what I loved about it was that first of all, just like, this is actually one of my favorite ones because of the dialogue in itself and the visual, but also it's interesting because it's an ad, right? So it kind of acts like an ad in general,
right?
Imagine like you're just reading this in the future, and then you're like, oh, it's an ad, and then you're like, oh, okay, yeah, I get it. So you kind of take that as it is, and in an anthology, it blends in like that.
It does.
So that's fucking cool.
And the fact that it's just one page too.
It's super interesting.
There actually is another one pager from John Kissy too, who also did he did the art, but this was written by Dan Membula. Alone. That one was pretty good too. Like,
which one is Alone?
It's sort of near the end. I'm on page 64 for that.
64. Okay, perfect. Thank you.
But yeah, this was a pretty solid story overall. Like it was just so great.
Oh, hell yeah, bro.
Just a solid little one pager.
This reminded me of what's it called? Black Mirror. Do you remember the episode where she had to relive the same thing over and over again?
I don't think I saw that one.
No.
Actually.
Oh, my spoiler alert. But it's kind of the same thing. I wonder if it was what's it called? Is Deja Vu? No, I think I'm thinking the wrong one. Sorry, my bad. I'm thinking about Deja Vu by Max Flowers.
Yeah, no, I mean Deja Vu. I mean, like, shout out to Max. He also did these posters for the CyberSync.
No, they look fucking incredible.
So everyone who pledged to the Kickstarter will be getting a Max Flowers CyberSync poster.
Hell yeah, bro! I'm getting a poster. If you go back to real quick to right after the ad one, Europa. This is what I wanted to refer to real quick. It's Neo. What's it called? Fuck. Neo Loretto 20XX. This is the one that reminded me of Coda.
Okay.
I don't know if you see it as like I do, but like just how the people are designed a little bit, like just a little bit, and it's not as mythical and it's not as like fantasy world and stuff like that. But just like the shades of their skin, the color of their hair, the gloves she has on and stuff like that. What's it called?
Like the different type of world it is.
Yeah.
And whatnot.
What was I gonna say? I have it right here. I just really like this story. This is what it is. This story to me is very good because of how simple it is. Despite having so much different characters and a lot going on, I really enjoy this one like crazy.
Nice.
Because like already I'm like, what's gonna happen? And it sets the scene so much with even this panel of her just walking by and these two guys playing cards in the background, and it's another panel of her walking and these two people. Like, it exposes so much. Like, what is this thing on this guy's back? Like, is this lady a cyborg / this and that?
Right.
I don't know. For me, I really appreciated it, and it was my favorite one so far as I was reading it.
Nice.
I won't go in chronological order, but this one was just really stood out to me, and I really appreciate this one very much. So it's again my top 3 for this whole thing.
Hell
and even
yeah.
the end, 'cause I feel like for the end, you're like, yo, bro, like, what can this be later on? You know? And,
yeah, and like the
what happened,
narration
who were
is
they?
so great to
Yes.
it too. Like 2 words, suicide mission.
It was-
and like I love the last page,
Yeah.
the little splash page, just a lost cause.
Yeah, man.
It's like it's I definitely can see those Coda vibes. Like now that you mention it,
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Because
like
the narration,
the writing,
yeah,
of it,
man. Yeah, Coda, I'm gonna buy the actual copy and read it again because I hated on that shit all day. Because I it's like one of those things where like every day I'm just like, damn, bro, that shit was pretty good. It's pretty good.
I'm Coda.
But again, I read it on a bitch ass laptop, which fucking sucks, bro. So yeah,
Especially this bitch ass laptop.
This laptop is dying, bro. But yeah, what's it called? You jump to one now.
I really let's talk about the Max Flowers one a little bit more.
Let's do it, yeah.
Because Max just has so fucking dope art, and like if you do follow him, he's pretty diverse too. Like he knows how to do like different styles too. Like he knows how to mix it up a little bit, and it's just so cool. But he loves it. Even in the punk anthology, he brought this similar vibe that he did here, where it's just this sort of like paranoia, like dark, like almost like
creeping
in, like fucking teeth grinding, fingers scratching at the door type of sense.
Yeah.
And it's just this is definitely one of the more darker stories throughout the book for sure.
Hell yeah.
And it's just even with the way it ends, like I'm in hell, and it's just like that last fucking panel. Like Max just has such a great way of like setting up these panels and shit. And it's just I thought the story was great.
I love the eyes of the person. I was just like white, you know, just blank stare into everything and just like that. I don't know. You should watch the Black Mirror episode. Like that looks like this because it's pretty interesting.
Okay, but don't yell at me.
And then he killed this guy right here, right? That's why he has to go through it all the time to feel what he felt when he killed him.
Yeah, that's what I imagine was going on there. But you know, and I feel like we got to shout out Ben and Eric and Javi.
Hell yeah, bro.
With Cyber Pooch.
Hell yeah, bro.
But yeah, Cyber Pooch was super fun. It is like it immediately, like from having the conversation with them yesterday and like now looking at the story, it's like this was written by Ben and Eric.
Yeah.
Like they have such a style to them.
And it has their humor in it also and stuff like that. I remember when he gets taken, he's like, "Oh shit, my computer! Did I delete my browser history?" But this opening page is fucking beautiful.
Oh yeah, Jackie's art is fucking phenomenal.
It's really beautiful, and it really has a lot of depth to it. It almost has like a fisheye lens type of feel, you know. But what's it called? For me, it was a lot to read. Also, I will say, so they got me a little confused at one point, so I kept rereading it. But it did give me vibes of I feel like yours and his are very similar because like the dog is in the little corner.
Right.
Like this is like zoom in of the dog, so the same thing as yours. So I thought that was cool, man.
Yeah, it is funny how that ended up happening, where it's just
like the emphasis on it and everything.
Yeah, and it's just like you know, similar minds and just
similar matters, similar earth.
So you know, it's just. It all just matters, I guess. But I thought this was super cool. I don't know Jackie's process exactly, but she's from Italy, so I don't really get the chance to speak to her too much because of the time zone difference. But Ben and Eric were saying yesterday how cool it is to work with her.
Yeah,
because it's like they kind of just get to wake up to see pages and shit. It's like fuck
that's
that.
fucking. Her style of drawing faces, like right here, this one, it reminds me so much of Attack on Titan.
Okay.
Those face like the Titans and everything.
Right.
They look not exactly like that, but they look incredibly similar to that, and it gives you such a like a off-putting vibe, you know, and not in a bad way, but it's very interesting. And
she also killed it with like actually drawing the dogs and shit. Like they're very well like
super. I was just looking at it right now.
Like the anatomy of it and stuff, like super solid.
The texture of the fur comes out very well. Damn, bro, she drew a fat ass on this guy right here. Look at the fucking wag.
Oh yeah, dude, that dude, he's thick with like ass. 4 C's, man.
Yeah, man, but it's cool, bro. This is fucking great work right here. This guy scratched the shit out of his head, stretchy ass legs.
Yeah. No, I thought the story was great overall, and just like I said, like, and we kind of said it last episode, but there's nothing original.
Yeah,
it's
of course.
There's nothing wrong with kind of like two
Playing
people
on
coming up with the
something.
same idea.
Of course.
And it's just
Especially when you're given the same prompt.
Yeah.
That's just inevitable.
I do remember when I did come up with my story idea, and I told you about it, and you're like, no one else is gonna think of this, no one else is gonna do this, yours is gonna like be the only one that's like this, and then
motherfuckers want to do it.
and then I saw the sneak peek that Ben and Eric had put up, and I was like, oh shit, they did it.
I will say though, my favorite one of this whole anthology is Killer Content by Tony Delgado.
Hell yeah,
this one is so fucking good, bro.
Right? It's so good.
So
man.
fucking good. Even off the rip, the first line, things are different from when we grew up. Humans have never been closer, but we've also never been further apart. I was like, Jesus Christ. This is, bro, it's
Mic
so
drop.
it's so good. The artwork is so amazing. It doesn't need any even the lack of color adds on so much more to how oblique it is, you know what I mean? It's just so, and then one of the parts where the companies are saying our thoughts and prayers are with the people who are, impacted by this. I remember, like, I think we've talked about it on old episodes where like companies will always say that, like, oh, yeah, thoughts and prayers,
Right.
like, I don't know, but I don't know, man. This one blew me away. And I really hope it becomes something else later on, because it's such a cool concept. And it's like, I remember we were talking about live streaming earlier, and also like the deep fake thing, and it's not really the same topic here, but it's so cool, man.
Also, Tony, if this panel right here, like we haven't really talked. If you see this episode, or whatever the case is, this panel right fucking here, is this a Watchmen reference?
Oh shit, let me see.
Like, is that like Rorschach pulling up on the window? Like,
Low key,
I see you, Tony. I see you.
We're watching.
we are the men that watch.
And again, the nudity. You see this guy Shmeef over here with the tank top.
Oh yeah,
I respect that. And his cheek, he got the fat ass too, bro.
Hell yeah.
He got a cheeks, bro.
And like, just saying, he's packing.
Yeah, man.
He's packing.
Bro, I respect that. No, but man, Javi, I've seen yours and I appreciate yours, and I've seen yours. But like when it comes to everybody else's, like, bro, like I'm such a big fan of this.
Yeah,
like,
man.
I will go out my way to buy anything this guy makes. I gotta follow him on Instagram. I gotta fangirl. I gotta stalk him.
Hell yeah.
No, bro. Tony Delgado. This was fucking incredible.
Hell yeah,
you are amazing. And not that anybody else is amazing, but this is so fucking good.
I know. I mean, it was just
Jesus
so good from
Christ.
beginning to end. Even like the lettering was solid, like his speech bubble placement and everything like that.
I
The
fucking love
narration
it, man.
boxes, like it all just, it works so well.
And then at the end, like, am I the killer that he was? Oh my god, the concept is so fucking good. So I hope this becomes something in the future.
Immediately from like the beginning when I first started reading this, I almost kind of got like good Asian vibes off of it, from like the detective like aspect of it all.
No, I get so many different vibes. Bro. I get V for Vendetta vibes. I get that. I get just a little bit, but oh my god.
Hey Tony, you like Alan Moore, don't you?
You like Asians. 7-year-old.
Last episode. That was last episode. You can't make that joke.
But then we get to a specific comment called "I Hear Ya."
It's mine,
bro. It's so cool, man. This is so cool to see this within this whole realm of everything else. But man, not even to be biased or anything. Your fucking artwork, and I said it to you already, but your fucking artwork is incredible, bro.
Thank you.
Off the rip with this town, and then I love the concept of sing. Like the sing thing is so dope, and it's so clearly put out there when he like talks. And man, it really speech bubbles are so important, because when he does refer to sing, like the interaction between Caesar and what's his name again?
Juan.
I was gonna say Max. Caesar and Max is in the thought bubbles. But when he talks to sing, it's in the speech bubble.
Yeah,
that shit's so important, man. And you really catch up on it when you like just constantly read and pay attention. And details matter, and you have a lot of little details in here. Yeah, bro.
Yeah,
this is cool.
I definitely like the sing thing kind of came naturally as I started drawing. Like that was never really in the script or anything.
Yeah.
Just as I started drawing it, I was just kind of like, you know what? Like this is sing.
Yeah,
that's
man.
Sing.
Yeah.
Everything's sing.
I was gonna say, how so like I want to dive more deep into yours more than anything, because we do the podcast together. Because a lot of people, I remember, shout out Angel, He was like, drawing's easy. What did he say? Or drawing's fast?
No, that was Anthony.
Anthony.
Yeah,
Sorry, Angel, my bad.
Anthony said something like
Anthony. Where was we?
But Anthony said something like that drawing doesn't take that long.
Yeah. That's so funny. Anthony's fucking the funniest person ever. How long did it take you to make this whole thing? And like in intervals of what? Like you know what I mean? Like per session.
So I mean, it's 5 pages in total. I do write the dates on my penciled pages of like when I start them, so I could pull up that exact date, but my book is all over there.
Yeah. We could put it up, but off a rip, like approximately. But we'll put up the information here. And we should put up pictures of your what's it called, sketches and everything. Yeah,
I'll throw those up for sure. But I started the script in July. I wrote the script, the thumbnail sketches in July. Then I started drawing it in August and finished everything in October. So
July, August, September, October, so about 4 months.
In 4 months, I did about 5 pages.
And then, like, per session, would you say on average, how long would it take per session?
Once it came to actually drawing, like, because personally for myself, my process is that I spend more time on the pencils more than anything. Yeah. Because it's like, to me, if I make the pencils nice and clean on that first go,
the rest is easy coming, right?
Yeah, like when it comes to inking, it's just straight up tracing at that point, and it's like I don't have to worry too much about that.
Yeah, because I remember we'll shoot an episode, and you'll show me one thing, and then you show me the next week, and it's not like nothing's changed, but it's like one line over this, and you're like, look, and I'm like, nice, bro. Yeah, because there's one panel for, I think you did it for Ruby when the beer is pouring on the tap, and that was fucking cool, man, because like you get to see it before it really blooms into like color and stuff like that. And even I don't know if you want to talk about the newer one for the record, right? Oh, no,
I'll definitely mention that for the set list anthology.
Yeah. Just bro, your artwork is just getting so much. I mean, there's different tones, you know, but your newer shit is incredible, bro. It's like, what the fuck? Who are you,
dude? I texted you when I was drawing that latest story. Like there was dead ass moments where I'd pull away. I'm like, how the fuck am I doing this?
It's so impressively a jump from this, and this is already incredible. So I'm very impressed, man.
I honestly like just. You know, and this is just the critic in me, but it's like I look at this story, I'm like, this is shit.
The story or the artwork?
The artwork. I'm like, this is garbage.
Because I'm not gonna lie, seeing this compared to your newer shit, I'm like, I wish your newer shit was kind of implemented in this,
right?
But it kind of adds on to that, you know. It kind of stamps it in time, you know. It shows your progress because, man, if you read I Hear Ya and you look at it and you're like, okay, I like this, and I think what your stronger part in this whole story is the world setting. That shit looks incredible, like that shit. Oh, and I'm not saying the other stuff looks bad, but again, now that I've seen your newer stuff, I'm like, this could be so much more improved.
Right.
Yeah. But it's still, I mean, of course, not easy. And yeah, man, it's exciting to see development like that because it happens. It takes a long time for it to happen, but it seems to happen like that overnight.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, you know, it's one of those things where it's like they say that drawing is a muscle. Like you have to exercise and stuff. And when it came to drawing my new story, I was drawing so intensely for that dude that like there were actual moments where like my hands started to cramp.
You set on fire.
And that hasn't happened in so long.
Good, man.
Like I haven't had such long drawing sessions like that in a while where my hands started to cramp. And I was just like, the arthritis. But I mean, in terms for I Hear Ya, like it did take me about 4 months to make this 5-page story,
which is crazy. Like I feel like people hear they're like, oh, okay. But when you think about like a 5-page story and it takes 4 months, and of course Anthony would be like, yeah, it took 2 days. Yeah. No, I'm kidding. But in general, like even me, I would never think that 5 pages takes 4 months. If you would have asked me beforehand, I would have been like, bro, you're bugging. I could do that shit in 2 weeks and just stay home, do nothing.
And that's why, like, I when I try to explain to people, it's like, you know, when it comes to making comics, it takes a village. Yeah. And like, especially for someone like myself who is trying to sort of do it all, like it can be a lengthy process. Cause like I spend maybe about a month doing the pencils, and then maybe another month doing the inks, and then another month doing the letters. So it's like I really try to take my time with each and everything.
Single thing.
And it's like and the colors too. I try to spend like a month on that.
Yeah.
So it's like I really try to take my time with each and everything. But even from this story to now my newest story, my newest story that I completed is 4 pages, and I did that in the span of almost exactly 1 month.
Wow. Yeah, because you were fucking putting in that work.
And so it really goes to show, like, just from the time from like July of last year to now this year, where it's like it took me fucking 4 months to do 5 pages, and now I just did 4 pages in a month.
Yeah, man. But again, that's the muscle being worked on. That's also, you know, what's it called? Meeting a goal, a time. What's the word?
Deadline.
Deadline. There we go. So yeah, I don't know, bro, but it's crazy to see development. It's so cool to see. Like Tyler the Creator said, I hate wasted potential. Obviously, you're not wasting no potential here. You know?
Thank you.
Gotcha, bro. Yo, bro, real quick, this next one. What's the name of this one again?
Oh, this is oh shit. I forget who did it, but the art is fucking rad.
It's so cool. What was the name?
I know
Neostone City.
Yeah, I know on Instagram she goes by W Nike Artist.
No, I'm just saying the artwork is actually incredible.
Yeah.
But you see this panel right here? Doesn't it look like a bald guy turning around? you know, like a bald guy with hair on and then looking the opposite way.
Huge bald head. Yeah. Fucking Eggman over here.
That's what that reminded me of. So every time I see that shit, I'm like, that shit looks hilarious. And then I see it's a helmet. I'm like, whoops. But wait, hold on. Oh, yeah, never mind. Yeah. All right, cool.
Yeah, this I forget her name, but
I'll look at him.
She has fantastic art. I know she goes by W Nike Artist on Instagram, but she seems so cool. It's
called Outrun by Mario Candelaria and Terry. Okay. Am I mistaken? Because it's right after yours, right?
Yes.
Okay, so it's called Outrun Mario Candelaria and Terry.
Mario, killing it.
Shout out you, Terry. It's one name, Terry. Why is the name not here? Oh, it does. Only say it at the end, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, actually, it doesn't even say it in the story.
Yeah, right? It just kind of... Yeah. Yo, but Edge Point is beautiful. Just saying.
Hell yeah.
So fucking
that
good.
Opening shot, that's such a fucking Blade Runner shot.
Yeah,
like,
man.
Oh my God, dude. Fucking Ben killed it.
Yeah, man. And this one is another one that I want to see expand to something else.
Yeah, you know? I mean, I know for a fact the one story that is going to expand is the final story, CyberSync.
Yeah.
Because that is something that these guys at Apollo City have talked about, where it's like they kind of launched these anthologies in hopes to continue their stories for other things as well. And so for the punk anthology, Brandon had his one story, Teenage Babylon, get published in that, and that's going to be a continuing series with, I believe, Nicholas, who is running the Setlist anthology.
Okay.
And
this one you mean though, right? This last one?
Yeah, the final one.
This one was good as shit too, man.
Yeah, and it's just the art is fucking phenomenal.
It's so incredible.
Like the sort of pastel, like sort of like watercolor-ish. Like
I love the speech bubble, how it's not bubbles. It's just like a color in the background of text. It's so easy on the eyes, and it really like it interferes with the background, but not at all. I know it makes no sense, but like clearly it's there, but you feel like you're not even looking at it. Like you're reading it, but then you still get to experience everything else as a whole. And this panel where they're exchanging the Neuralink thing or whatever is so in depth, amazing. It's cool, man. It's so good, and I love the story about it. What they're doing, where they're fighting, and they're using one another to do in this league that's still kind of starting up, and they don't really know.
It's like a little fight club.
Yeah, man. Hell yeah, bro. I had an idea for one of these, right? After reading it, and my idea of it would be to have 2 people exchange, of course, the implants, but one with like anorexia and bulimia, and the other one being obese. And whether they exchange it to like help fix each other's problems.
Interesting.
And how they would react to, like, say the obese guy was eating a big ass sandwich, would the anorexic person be like, yeah, like would they throw up? Would they like, or like would they feel hunger? Because I know there's a lot of exchanges of feeling like sex or like murder or this and that.
Right.
So like I wonder like, if you that whole thing, or maybe curing others with the opposite syndrome of the other.
Right.
So I don't know. That'd be kind of crazy.
Volume 2.
Yo, bro. No, but I thought that would be cool.
But yeah, I mean that's CyberSync for like the bulk of it. It was a super great book to work on. I'm really happy with everyone that I met working on this book.
Yeah, man.
Like everyone's super chill, everyone's super rad. I've been following everyone from this book on Instagram now, and they follow me, and it's just
they don't include their like Instagram or socials here, right? And thing
that I don't think so.
They should next time. I mean, that's just a recommendation.
I know
you guys can do whatever you want.
I know for the Setlist anthology, which which I'll announce now, that is officially happening. So I'll be having my second publication going through. So for the Setlist Anthology, that Kickstarter will be coming out sometime in the next month or so. And it'll be the same thing with this Kickstarter, just running for a month, see how much we can make. It'll probably be $1,000 goal as per usual, and we'll see how far we can push it. But with that Setlist Anthology, I know for a fact that they're getting our Instagram handles and stuff. So
good. I feel that's important. Even if you want to do it on this episode, like whenever we mention somebody, just throw on their social, because that's actually super crucial for exposure. You know, so. All their handles are at Earth My Matter Pod.
Just keep searching Earth My Matter Pod. I swear you'll find them.
Just DM us and we'll just send you pictures of the anthology.
But just to even give a little insider thing on my story real quick. I don't know if you caught it because we've looked at Tom King a little bit. Yeah. But I don't know if you caught like my page 4 like 9-page panel thing where it's like.
Let me see. Hold on.
Wait,
let me look at it first. 1, 2, 3. Let's see. No, wait, what is it?
It's on page 46 of the anthology, but it's a 9-page panel that I have of Juan on the couch. That is totally Tom King inspired.
Really?
Because Tom King is one of my favorite.
So many
writers.
panels in one page and everything.
Yeah, because Tom King loves doing 9-panel pages.
Is that when we read Mr. Miracle and it's fucking it's like 1,000 panels and he's just going? Okay, cool. That's the one thing I was thinking of. All right.
And I remember at Comic-Con I was showing a bunch of people my comic and shit, and I had shown Clayman, who works with Tom King a lot, my comic, and when he had scrolled onto this page, he was like, here's your Tom King page.
Nice.
I was like, let's go.
That's fucking awesome, bro. But, and then even the what's it called, the black lines in the middle, right, or some shit like that. Like is that? I just remember where there was a panel. I don't know if it was Mr. Miracle or Batman, where they used that to kind of symbolize a gate or some shit like that. You know, like it was like 6 or 9 panels of that. And then I think Mr. Miracle was like this.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And then was it like, did it cut into intervals? Like, I don't know if that was it exactly, but I'm trying to think.
They use like the panel borders as sort of like cages. Almost.
Yeah, there we go. There we go. Some shit like that. So, but that's what it's called, the panel borders.
Yeah, panel borders.
Because you could have easily just made them thinner, right? Or this and that. You chose to make them as thick as they are.
Yeah.
Nice.
I mean that is like the sort of standard like panel border size, or panel gap. Actually, the panel gap that's like the standard size for it. So I just went with that.
Nice.
But
yeah, I made them black.
Yeah, I made the whole page black because I wanted it to be like a more like darker like setting.
Oh, true.
Sure. Which is what we also talked about for Mr. Miracle, like how they separated New Genesis and Earth, like having the black pages and white pages.
I want to read that shit again.
So I kind of tried to use that a little bit as well.
Awesome, bro.
But yeah, so another thing with the last panel of the comic, the little Caesar wink right there. Yeah, I have that as stickers. So anyone that buys a copy off of me, let me know. I'll also get you a sticker with that too. But I also got bookmarks of Juan and Caesar running, chasing after each other and staring at each other.
And you got a website coming soon, I heard.
Yeah, I do. I do. Website is in the works.
Oh, yeah, bro.
Fucking cooking that shit up.
Nice. Like fucking curry.
I am the shrimp.
Right here, my fucking head.
But there was another thing I haven't told you this.
What's up?
But this is the last thing I'll say.
Okay.
Is that so for Ruby, I do plan on coming back to Ruby. Okay. That is going to get finished.
Nice.
However, what I do plan on doing is I'm going to scrap it and start over.
No fucking way, bro. Well, to change up story or art?
Just the art.
Nice.
So, because I figured the fact that I haven't touched it in about 2 years now, I felt that if I came back to it now, the quality would be extremely inconsistent.
Yeah. So you want to just have it all from the beginning. Oh, wow, man. That's going to be fucking dope, actually.
So that's going to be my big project for the second half of the year after I get through the horror anthology that I'm working on right now.
That's dope.
So after July, starting in August, I'll be working on that.
That's dope as fuck.
And that'll be 25 pages.
Damn.
So that'll be my first big story for sure.
All right, bro. Well, fucking once again, congratulations on the anthology and the publish and all that stuff, and everybody who was involved, all you guys. I'm gonna say
thank you, Brandon. Thank you, Alex.
Shout out Brandon, Alex, and I'm gonna say everybody's name mad fast. Shout out to them. Hey, yeah, bro, that shit is fucking cool. This whole thing, as a reader, and unbiased, this was fucking awesome, and I genuinely can't wait to just have the physical copy and
Hell yeah.
and read this physically, because it's gonna be so much cooler. It's gonna add so much more to it. But in the meantime, I'll read Coda again. Stop being a hater.
Yeah, go read that shit, dog. What you doing? Slacking. I'm about to hit you with the.
I still have that book technically. But yeah, bro. Check out the podcast. Check out the social Earth Mind Matter Pod on Instagram and TikTok. Earth Mind Matter on YouTube. Javi's Instagram, Javi_Blink.
Javi_Blink.
Hell yeah, bro. And then we're the fucking out of here, bro.
Bam.
Nice.